Rhubarb is a perennial that can come back up to 15 plus years. Now you do have to divide it at a certain point when this plant gets large enough, and many people grow it in the ground, but we are actually growing it in containers. This is a Rubbermaid container, about 30 some odd gallons, and we also have a smaller 15 gallon or so pot that we started these from seed. Now this will be the third year that these will be growing, so we should have very lush and large rhubarb stalks that we can use. The leaves are poisonous, so you don't want to eat those. Now if you're going to grow rhubarb, you can buy it from a crown that is advanced in its age, so it can produce quicker. But before you find a crown or order one online, figure out if you even like rhubarb before you go to the effort of growing it. Well, once it's in the container here, we want to fertilize it. We have to fertilize it because it cannot sit in this container forever and grow. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a Sustain fertilizer. It's a 464. It's derived from turkey litter and pine bark, so it's not a mined product. So it's very organic in that manner, and it's OMRI listed. Now with container rhubarb, you want to do about a half a cup per year of an all-balanced fertilizer, whether you choose Sustain or a different brand of your favorite. So we're going to take a half a cup and we're going to mix it into the top of the container here. Now these have sat out all year long. You look online and they say take the container indoors, like a garage or a shed, where it's cool and where it can go into dormancy after the plant has died off during the fall portions, and then you bring out in the spring, because if the roots get too cold, the plant's going to die. Well, these have been out for 3 years, and the plants flourish each year stronger than the year before. So not everything you read online is accurate. So what we're going to do is we're going to fertilize. We're going to take a half of cup, which I know that's about a handful here. I'm going to sprinkle it around, and then I'm actually going to work it in the first couple of inches of the container. And I'm going to do that with a secondary container too. Then I'm going to come and we're going to bring some leaves in here and mulch this, one to add more of a water retention barrier so I don't have to water nearly as much. Both these containers, by the way, have holes in the bottom so they can drain properly, but I do want to hold as much moisture in this as possible. Now if you don't have any leaves left on your property, you can use simply shredded paper. May not be that most ideal looking. You can also use chemical-free and seed-free grass clippings, dry them, and then layer them on an inch or two around the container, around the plant here in the container, and that'll also work for your other container items that you're growing. Okay, so I've got leaves here. I'm going to add a good amount. If I've got twigs and sticks in here, that's fine too. The only disadvantage that we have found in this container rhubarb is that when the wind blows, this plant is elevated higher now because it's in a container, so it does get a little beat up a little bit more than it would if it was in a traditional ground garden. So fertilize your containers, your rhubarb containers. You want to do this yearly, about a half a cup of an all-balanced fertilizer.
For more information, please visit thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.